coolest parts about Leukerbad is every single day that we've been here, I've fallen more in love with the place. So when we got off the bus the first day, I was kind of like, oh, this is cool, but what are we gonna do for 5 days in this town? We can't get anywhere else besides this actual town. I have no idea where this trail goes.
I don't have any idea where this thing goes. None of those look viable.
No. You just get to know it a little bit more, and each day it feels like more comfortable and more homey. Ah! No, it stung me.
It's a stingy one.
And all of a sudden you're like eating cheese on the side of a mountain, and some strangers are paying for your meal, and you're gonna go back to the same bar for the 3rd night in a row because the hostess is so sweet, and it starts to feel like home.
After trekking the DNT in Norway and running a marathon of the tallest mountain in Europe, Jungfrau, we needed a town to lay low and recover.
We were looking for mountains, cheap accommodations, and some quiet nights of sleep. Enter Leukerbad, a few-hour train ride from Interlaken, nestled in the Swiss Alps, full of breathtaking nature. This is the story of our marathon recovery in a small Swiss mountain town. This is the story of a week in Leukerbad. This is live footage of Grandpa trying to catch the bird sounds. In another country, he's very into this. He's telling me to be quiet. It's a new bird. He's so happy. It's a golden.
Leukerbad is a small village with a population around 1,500. This small village boasts the most hot springs of any alpine location. The village began around the 4th century BC, and the thermal springs were enjoyed and sought after by the Romans throughout the entire empire. The beautiful nature and charm of the village charmed writers such as Johann Wolfgang von Goethe and Mark Twain. Predominantly a skiing destination, we were elated to find the infrastructure and weather perfect for fall hiking.
We spent the first 2 days recovering from the marathon in the hotel, leaving 3 days left to explore the city.
First day of adventure was spent listening to birds in the morning. Yes, I'm in a competition with Mare's dad. And then attempting our first hike, the thermal Quellenstag Loop. Along the way, we followed the Dala River and the cascade of the river, and even the interactive hot spring bucket recovery device.
See how similar this is to the one in Zurich, Colorado, which they call the Switzerland of America? And now we're actually in Switzerland, and I feel like I'm back in Zurich, Colorado. Crazy. Pretty awesome, huh? Amazing.
Six new birds. I got a bird. Birds in Switzerland. Swiss for 6. Swiss for 6.
After a short hike and excitement over the waterfall in the canyon, we arrived at the Mid-Trail coffee shop, our favorite. We journaled and used a speedy slide to exit in style.
Doing the best we could to stick to our budget in Switzerland meant we spent a lot of time grocery shopping for ready-made food. These protein yogurts in particular were our lifeline this week.
Wow. We're going on a hike to have dinner. We don't know where we're going.
I know where we're going.
Meredith knows where we're going. She's navigating.
Yeah.
This is not her specialty.
Yeah.
We're approaching dinner because we're on a dinner hike.
Yeah.
But then, turns out dinner is approaching us.
That's not true.
Just kidding. Meredith is a vegan.
Switzerland is so noisy.
You'd think. The Swiss Alps, it's peaceful, it's outdoorsy, you're in the mountains.
Pristine.
It's a noisy country.
Yes.
The trains are Oh, here comes a noisy car. but we'll pull over, let them get going.
But what's interesting,
Ah,
so,
ooh,
oh, that
ooh.
sting you? Or do you just not see it?
I don't know. You touch it, you tell me.
Ah! No, it stung me.
It's a stingy one.
Oh, that stung bad.
All right, I'm glad I'm not a wuss.
Are we still recording?
Yeah.
Oh my God, and they sting you here too.
Turns out it's an electric wire. Anyway,
The churches have these bells that go off 4 times an hour all day.
which very helpful for keeping time, especially in the morning if you're taking a nap.
Because then every 15 minutes you decide if you want to wake up or keep sleeping.
It's a natural alarm clock,
Yeah.
natural snooze button.
But what's crazy is the cattle have these huge bells on them, so it's constantly noisy when you're hiking outside.
You
Which is,
can't escape it.
it's not a bad thing. It's
No,
just
this is a good
interesting
sound.
how loud it is here.
It's so loud.
I never
There's never a
expected it.
quiet moment.
No. Would you look at that?
For dinner tonight, I'll be having smoked salmon with bread or broad or pan. And Meredith?
I'm copying a Norwegian meal that we had with our friends, so I'm gonna have some shrimp, some parsley, some lemon, and some broad, and then some potato chips too.
After our makeshift dinner, we were left in high spirits. Although exhausted from our first day of action, alas, we celebrated with a beer out in town at the Chinchilla Bar.
So we just got to the Chinchilla Bar. People were smoking outside, so we took a seat inside. The vibe is happening for this small town. It's the most happening place that we've seen since we got here. And 8 francs. It's a big beer. Cheapest thing in the country.
Would you look at that? If not on cue, at 7:45 a.m. It's our bells. Now they only ring 3 times at 7:45 and 7:30 and 7:15, but at the top of the hour that really, but it's okay. It's kind of part of the magical experience of this town. This is where Colin slept last night. This is where I slept. I feel so bad that he felt the need to go get on the floor.
Good morning. We're gonna go get some coffee and then go on a hike that our new favorite bartender told us about.
Apparently it goes to a cheese farm.
Yeah. And she's pretty awesome. She's actually from here, but has been to Cape Coral and Fort Myers, so we were really excited. We talked to her about that a bunch last night, and then she wrote down a few hikes for us. So we're getting after it today. Our legs are finally feeling better. For the kids in 15 years when cash is obsolete. Look how pretty their money is. Hi, little money.
One of my favorite things about Leukerbad is that even though we're exhausted because we just ran a marathon, so we can't really hike the way we usually do or would like to do, there are 15 different trails that spur out of town where you don't need a bus, you don't need to drive to, you don't need to bike to. You can walk from wherever you're staying in town just straight onto the trail. That's amazing, and I like that.
Day 2 of action began with the same hike as yesterday, Thermal Squellenstein, but today we continue to complete the full loop.
stumbled upon what we think is cheese. So we're going to go investigate.
Stingy, stingy, stingy. All right, so this is what we think is the cheese farm, and it looks very promising.
Cheese puffs, munch, munch, munch.
I don't think they're gonna have cheese puffs for you, honey.
Switzerland, what a great bunch.
We're only an hour and a half into the hike and we've already got songs. Is that a sheep? Very interested in hiking shoes. Well, that was the coolest find on a hike ever.
What an amazing time.
So we get there and the lady barely spoke any English, but just enough to like help us figure out what to order.
Yep, it's exactly what we needed.
We pretty much were like, we just want cheese. And we got a cheese plate, which was great.
A big cheese plate. 4 different types of cheeses.
Yeah.
One was a thinly sliced cream-looking cheese, cream-colored. Absolutely delicious. That
One was
the best
like
one.
a cream cheese-ish one.
That was probably the goat cheese. One was just fantastic. More of a traditional yellow cheese. And then there was the smelly one.
I did not like the smelly one. But we went to pay at the end, and these nice old men, hiker men,
They paid for us.
They paid for us.
Their whole group chipped in to pay for our meal. But we didn't know that because they're speaking German. And
Isn't that so
we were
sweet?
smiling and
So,
we got lucky.
yay, free cheese and coffee.
Woohoo!
Trying to record the birds here.
Damn cowbells are too loud.
It's scary because those things will zap you. And I'm sure this won't, but it feels like it would.
Go fast.
The rest of our journey on today's hike was magical. The sun was out, our bellies were full of cheese, and the spirits were filled with joy.
Our return journey was more technical, but nothing the bedrocks couldn't handle. And it was just as magical as the outward journey. We were starting to feel like hikers again after the race. Today began the first and only time we've really split up since we started traveling. Due to the rainy morning and still being sore from the marathon, I decided to stay home and read. Colin went on his first adventure by himself.
Greetings from Switzerland's oldest Via Ferrata. It is right next to town. It's kind of loud because of the construction. Absolutely beautiful though. Just going up these steep ladders, one after another. Not too shabby. Would not recommend if you're afraid of heights, afraid of falling, or afraid of old ladders that might break on you. So far, it's so good. All right, we are about halfway up. Challenging, but I would say you need minimal experience to do it. Just go slow, hang on to the ladders, don't look over, and enjoy the ride. Definitely would recommend this. Not sure how though people did this 300 years ago with all their trade on their backs. There were some sketchy areas going up that cliff. Ladders helped a lot, but without the cables, I don't know how you carry 100 pounds worth of trade. But they did it, and you can do it too. This is the final climb down. Probably the steepest, but there's the road. Town's over there, good to go.
Just finished up the final ladder portion of this 300-year-old Via Ferrata. This is a must-do when you visit Leukerbad. If you don't do the extra trails, you can make it an hour-long activity there and back. If you want to do the extra trails, it can be as long as you want. Pack snacks, have a picnic, but these aren't to be missed, and again, they're free. But you feel like you're doing something. As I filled Meredith in on what she missed, we enjoyed another ready-made grocery store haul, complete with discounted sushi. And then the very best part of the hike happened.
What's up?
You will never guess who I saw.
Who?
The guys who bought us lunch yesterday.
No way. What are the odds?
Almost none.
Good afternoon. We are starting our hiking adventure just 6.5 hours later than planned. So we woke up this morning and it was super rainy, and I really didn't want to get out of bed because I've had a terrible headache from the marathon. So Colin actually went on his own adventure, but I hung around, just relaxed, at some sauna time, and then we were like, all right, cool, time to go. So we were gonna go to the pharmacy to get some medicine, but it was closed till 1:30, so we had to stall until then. So now at 1:40, we're actually starting the hike we intended on starting bright and early this morning.
Today we are gonna hike up Gemmi Pass. It is an old, ancient, almost, pass dug through the mountains to allow two different valleys to connect themselves, and they would herd sheep, entire herds of it. Even today they still have about 800 sheep every year who make this pass. It is going up there. Today we're gonna find out if Colin and Meredith can make this pass too. That doesn't look that bad after what we've been through. Easy piece of cake.
All right, we'll check back in about 15 minutes. Gemmi Pass is the #1 most due hike in Leukerbad. It is the quintessential historical and breathtaking hike. It's a mere 2.6 miles with 3,200 feet of elevation gain.
Their fat has been used as medicine for hundreds and thousands of years. High in vitamin D and E.
Colin tried to convince me to buy some the other day. I said
They
absolutely
put it
not.
into lotions and potions. And Meredith loves lotions and potions.
Yeah, but I don't want this lotion and potion.
All throughout the hikes on Switzerland, they got these amazing signs. We thought at first it was going to towns. Not towns, sometimes it's restaurants, sometimes it's mountains, sometimes it's different hikes. In this case, you have a Via Ferrata this way. Leukerbad, where we came from, nice and easy. You got a hotel on here, other hikes, you got other stuff. What's cool about them though, is it doesn't give you the distance like it does in the States. Instead, it gives you the time it takes to get there. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, 1 STD. We've deduced that means an hour. 90 minutes, 4 STDs. We assume that's 4 hours. All sorts of good stuff.
Made it. Ooh, gift shop. Okay, this is so nice. Holy cow. We're definitely getting a beer here.
Switzerland really spoils you with these mid-hike cabins. Wow! This one was amazing. Modern, beautiful, big windows with panoramic views. a full cafe with real meal options. We passed only a few brave souls on the hike, but this cabin was packed.
Wow. This is pretty incredible. Hi, honey.
Hello, baby.
This is so cool.
Amazing.
I want to go on this thing.
When you move it, it tells you the names of the mountains.
Wow.
That's so cool. Oh, look, there's the hike that we did.
What'd you think of the hike?
Okay, so that was hard, but it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be.
No.
Like, I was preparing for the absolute worst.
It's about 1,200 feet per mile. Haven't done the conversions yet for metric, which is, it's steep. It's nothing but steep the whole time. However, it's not that long of a hike. We're done in 2 hours, so it's 2 hours of pain.
And we took a 20-minute break. What's interesting is, like, when you get to the top, the lodge is so fancy.
It's so amazing.
And this is now, I don't know, like the 4th hike we've done in Europe where you get to the top and there's like an actual restaurant or something that you can eat at and hang out at and relax.
Now, relative to this lodge, there's something very important to keep in mind. They do not have free water. It's the first place we've been where you can't just refill your water.
But they do have cheap beer.
And very cheap beer. Now, this water, 850 francs. This beer, 620 francs.
Mm-hmm.
Choose wisely.
We had to get both. Also, they have pretty good food options up here, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
We packed our own, so we're just eating our roasted
We
snacks.
didn't know they had good food options.
No.
But now you do.
Alright, so that's a wrap on this hike.
Gemmi Pass, Gemmi Hike, you were an A+. We ended up hiking past the visitor center because there's about 14 different trailheads. We took the route towards the glacier.
Which has been pretty cool.
But now we have to turn around because we want to get back before the restaurants close.
It's our first date night since we've gotten to Switzerland. And I'm so excited to go eat at a restaurant and have a warm meal.
Yes, we deserve it.
Yep, and then we gotta pack up because tomorrow we're going to Germany. Woohoo! Woo! Does not look like the hotel on the brochure at all.
No, this looks like the hotel that we book and then send a picture to our moms and they send us money to book a better place.
So true. Look at all that green. You're the green monster. This really didn't work out. It turns out parsley is not even close to, what did they have?
Dill.
The dill.
Yeah, because that's the problem here.
I also don't have the butter or the mayo that we used, or the right bread, or a knife to properly cut the bread. Alright, we're leaving tent number 4.
4 was the best. Number 1 tent so far.
Yeah, absolutely.
They had a band. It was a perfect atmosphere.
Just strangers, people like, hi, can we sit